Good morning to the Honorable Professor Widya Paramita as my thesis supervisor, to the Honorable thesis examiners, and the audiences. My name is Nicholas Hermanto from IUP program in Department of Management, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Gadjah Mada. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present my undergraduate thesis titled 360-degree Virtual Travel Experience and Destination Marketing in Zoo Tourism, Effects of Sense and Information Quality on Flow and Visit Intention. This is the presentation outlines for today. Let's start with chapter introduction. Virtual reality is a computer-mediated system of substituting real-world, landscape, and sound with a manipulated virtual environment where users feel that they are experiencing the real world. Before we continue the presentation, let us have a little bit of taste of virtual reality. Moving to the background, the pandemic has been changing the world in many ways since the start of its outbreak. The economic growth in all countries worldwide has decreased in 2020 since GDP growth rate showed a negative global trend of 3.27%. Looking closer into the situation, the tourism and travel industry has experienced one of the biggest downfalls compared to other industries as government implemented travel bans and stay-at-home regulations to prevent the further spread of the virus. Statista 2021 shows a declining market size of the tourism sector worldwide in 2020 from 1,868.5 to 1,094.8 trillion US dollars. It is almost 42% market size decrease. Zoo tourism is included as one of them. In the Monday Singapore Zoo yearbook, it is written that the zoo experienced 58% decrease in the visitors because of the pandemic, from 2.1 million to 883,000 people. Amidst this unfavorable situation, the zoo tourism industry must innovate and adapt to all the dynamics that happen. Nowadays, people are moving into post-pandemic era. Most of them are adapted to technology and digitalization. Data shows that in April 2022, a total of 5 billion people around the world use the internet, meaning 63% of the world's population is connected. Knowing the recent rise of digitalization, virtual reality travel experience can become a destination marketing tool and impactful tool in helping zoo tourism industry. A more effective tool, in fact, compared to its traditional siblings such as television, radio, and website. Last but not least, there are 3.7 billion phone users which will be able to access 360-degree virtual travel experience. Why Singapore Zoo is chosen? Because the Singapore Zoo is awarded as the top 3 zoos in the world in 2018 by TripAdvisor. In addition, in 2019, Indonesia is ranked as the second highest international visitors in Singapore with 3.11 million people. What is the research problem of this research? The first one, the implication of the use of virtual reality to increase visit intention, especially in now the situation in the middle of pandemic era. The next one, the mechanism in which tourists undergo virtual reality travel. Previous studies have shown this result of the mechanism using head-mounted devices as the media. But this research will use smartphone as the main media, which is more accessible for many people. Moving to the research question, there are 4 main questions. Does sense as an attribute in virtual reality have a positive relationship on flow experience? Does information quality as an attribute in virtual reality have a positive relationship on flow experience? Does flow experience have a positive relationship on satisfaction? Does satisfaction have a positive relationship on visit intention? Research contributions for academic is to understand the relationship of sense and information quality in zoo tourism, virtual experience, and destination marketing on flow and visit intention. For practitioner, to provide information and result that could be beneficial for zoo tourism industries and for the marketers. Moving to the literature review, the SOR model is the main model that will be used in this research. SOR model captures the idea that when environment provides stimulus in any form to any organism, the organism subsequently undergoes an internal process to respond. In this case, we are going to use environment that is in virtual reality instead of real environment. So the stimulus will be the sense and the quality of information in the video, and the organism, which is the tourist itself, they will have 3 main experience: telepresence, focus attention, and also temporal distortion. And finally, for the response from the potential tourists in form of satisfaction and also visit intention. let's move to the conceptual definition of each variable that will be used in this research. Sense is an essential attribute of VR marketing. It evokes visual and audio stimuli, which results in an immersive experience. Quality of information through VR travel in destination marketing offers a mediated experience of exploring a real-world destination instead of imaginary or fictional place. Moving to the user experience, telepresence is a mediated experience about a real-world place location that is temporally and spatially distant from the user's physical location. Focus attention refers to a condition where an individual is being mesmerized or captured to be focused on a certain activity. Temporal distortion expresses an experience of a person losing track of real time while participating in a VR travel experience. And last but not least, the response satisfaction is customers' personal experience cognitively and how effective service or product is based on their judgment. It expresses the overall evaluation of the experience of using the virtual reality. Visit intention is the willingness of an individual to visit the real location provided from the virtual reality. And this is the main research model, which is adopted from An, Choi, and Lee 2020. There are 4 main hypotheses. The first one is that sense positively influence flow. Second hypothesis, quality of information positively influence flow. And third hypothesis, flow, which consists of telepresence, focus attention, and temporal distortion, positively influence satisfaction. And fourth hypothesis, satisfaction positively influence visit intention. These are the hypotheses in detail, consists of 10 hypotheses. And then we are going to continue with the research method. We are going to use quantitative instead of qualitative. Because we are going to measure relationship, we need to collect and analyze numerical data. And for the online form, we are going to use online survey via Google Form, which provides access to group and individuals that will be difficult to reach, especially in the middle of this pandemic. And also the method that we are going to use, since the model in this research contains complex interrelationships between observed and latent variables, structural equation modeling partial least square becoming the dominant tool to measure and analyze this research. And for the population and sampling, the populations are Indonesian as potential tourists of Singapore Zoo, aged 18 years old and above. For the sampling method, we are going to use confidence sampling. Although this method will restrict the generalizability of this research, confidence sampling is still able to obtain useful answers for this research problem. For the sampling size, we are going to use 10 times rule. Because of 22 items that we are going to use, we need to have 220 minimum samples. And for the data and measurement, the research object is sense and quality information in 360-degree virtual reality video containing destination marketing of Singapore Zoo. The video will be shared through the link attached in the online questionnaires. For the data type, we are going to have 7-point Likert scale, which is the measurement of the items. For the collection method, we are going to have online questionnaires distributed through social media, such as Instagram, WhatsApp, and Line. For the measurement items, this is the operational definition and also the items that we will use as the questions. Sense is how well the VR provides vividness and interactivity of the content. Quality of information is the level of cognitive effort needed to identify required information. Higher quality means lower effort. Telepresence is how strong the feeling of being in the virtual environment created in the virtual reality. Focus attention is the degree to which an individual is being mesmerized as his or her focus of attention is narrowed to a particular activity in VR. Temporal distortion is the degree to which an individual loses track of real time while partaking in a virtual reality travel experience. Satisfaction is the overall evaluation about the experience of using a virtual reality. Visit intention is the level of willingness of an individual to visit the real location provided from the virtual reality. For the analysis method, we are going to adopt a method by Herr et al. In 2019 about PLSM. There are 3 main steps: measurement model assessment, structural model assessment, and also hypothesis testing. Results and the analysis. At the results, we get 239 respondents, and between male and female, it is quite balanced. For the age, the majority of them are 18 to 24 years old. For the income, majority of them have below 5 million rupiah in income. For the occupation, the majority of them are students. Measurement model assessment. For the item reliability test, the factor loading must have a value equal or higher than 0.708. As the table shows, all the items having factor loading higher value than 0.708 means that all the items are reliable. For internal consistency reliability test, the Cronbach alpha and composite reliability value must have a value higher than or equal to 0.7. From the table, we can see that all the items are consistent and reliable. For the convergent validity test, the average variance extracted value must be higher than 0.5. It means that those constructs are able to converge to explain the variance of their items. For discriminant validity, average variance extracted value from the variance mean extracted value must have a higher value compared to the correlation with other constructs. As we can see on the table, all of the value is higher than the correlation with the other construct. This means that all of the items are discriminantly valued. For the model fit test, the SRMR value must have a value lower than 0.08. The lower the value means there is less difference between observed and expected correlations, and the result shows that the model is fit. For structural model assessment, collinearity test, the variance inflation factor value must be lower than 5. The table shows that there is no collinearity problem in this model, so we can continue with the hypothesis testing. First, we are going to have model's explanatory power. From the result, we can see that visit intention has a very weak explanatory power levels. However, the level of acceptance is varied based on the research discipline, and above 0.2 is acceptable for consumer behavior research studies according to Herr et al. 2013. For the model predictive accuracy, the same principle with the previous explanation, consumer behavior will have lower value since it is less predictable. For the hypothesis testing, we can see that 8 hypotheses are accepted and also 2 hypotheses are not accepted. For the PET coefficient, the value is higher than 0 and below 1. This means that the relationships are all positive. This is the research model result. As you can see from Smart PLS, there are 8 errors that are accepted and also 2 errors that rose because it is not significant. From descriptive statistics, we can see that the mean have a higher value than 3.5 and also the chapter discussion. From the accepted hypothesis, there are 8, and this means that the literature review is further supported in this research. And then we are going to discuss deeper about the rejected hypothesis. The first one is telepresence positively influence satisfaction with virtual reality travel. Why this is rejected? It is caused by visual stimuli and informational quality from smartphones cannot give a certain level of telepresence experience to make the tourist significantly satisfied. The head-mounted devices follow the head movement of the users. Meanwhile, the smartphones use the hand of the users as main driver of the movement. So it means that the telepresence generated from smartphones cannot make the users satisfied like the others while using the head-mounted devices. And then, the second rejected hypothesis, temporal distortion positively influence satisfaction with VR travel. How could this happen? Because when the users aware of the time loss, they will reduce the temporal distortion experience, resulting no satisfaction. In this case, the users of the participants of this research can see the time progress bar on YouTube. This means that they can be aware of the time loss after and while watching the video. And also, it could be from the users when they fill the Google form, they become aware of the time they have spent on filling the Google form, reducing their satisfaction from temporal distortion. Theoretical implications and contribution. The applicability of SOR model. In the past, SOR model was introduced to study psychological process of people in a real environment. But not until recently, in 2020, it is being used to study in a virtual environment using head-mounted devices. This research proves that the SOR model is also applicable for a virtual environment using smartphone devices. And then the next finding, virtual reality attributes increases user experience. Related to the first part, smartphones is able to increase the user experience while watching the virtual reality. And then the next one, only focus attention significantly influence satisfaction. This means that the focus, the telepresence and also temporal distortion is proven to be not significant in increasing satisfaction. because of the reason that I have mentioned before. The VR experience positively influenced to satisfaction and visit intention, meaning that VR travel experience is an effective destination marketing tool to increase the visit intention. And then for the managerial implications, improve VR sense and information quality. Since sense and information quality have proven to have a positive relationship with tourist experience, the researchers suggest improving these virtual attributes. How can it be done? By using a latest technology to record and also to experience the content of the video. The next one, improve users' experience. Given that focused attention is only dimension that is proven significant in influencing satisfaction, building better experience to increase the telepresence and also temporal distortion is needed to achieve the significant influence to satisfaction. This can be done, for example, by a video in Universal Orlando Resort. There is a tour guide that is accompanying the users while watching the virtual reality video, increasing the ambience and also the feeling of being present in the location. The next one, VR is an effective destination marketing tool. As I have mentioned before, the virtual reality content is able to increase the visit intention. This means that we can use virtual reality as a destination marketing tool. So, official Indonesian marketers wake up. Indonesia still lack of official destination marketers. For example, if you search promo virtual reality, we can find a group of people or netizen publish VR content instead of professional team hired by official marketers. Moving to the research limitation, the study did not fully capture individual characteristics and life experience that might impact their virtual reality experience and visit intention. The subject's characteristics includes tourist familiarity with the destination shown, motivation to visit, or technological skills that can affect their virtual reality experience. However, the study is already able to describe the mechanism of virtual reality content affecting tourist experience to increase their visit intention. The second one, imbalanced demographic characteristics. Demographic-wise, the representative is balanced between male and female, but the other part is dominated by a certain majority. It's between 18 and 24 and income below 5 million rupiah. With that in mind, the researcher has conducted additional analysis comparing different ages and income. The result shows there is no significant difference for age, but a significant positive relationship between income and visit intention. However, the results do not affect the significance and pet coefficients of other variables. So this is just an additional insight for this research. And the third one, only using one content. Although the research has tested and proven the mechanism in which the tourists undergo virtual reality, different size and location could provide different virtual experience for the tourists. That's why the researchers come with these recommendations. The first one, examine individual characteristics, so that the information may be influential in determining the virtual experience of the users. And the next one, larger sample and more balanced demographic to have better generalizability for the result. And also the next one, use more than one content, since different content have different sites and location, which could provide different virtual experience for the tourists. That's all for my presentation. Thank you so much for watching and giving your attention to this presentation. This is Nicholas Hermanto, and see you in the next time.